Hey guys, welcome in. I'm super excited to get started today. I'm just going to take a minute to get everyone in the room. All right, so everyone should see my slides right now. Followers to buyers, that is what we are talking about today. And I just want to make sure I get everything up here. Whenever I share my screen, everything else goes away. Okay, I'm glad you guys could join me live. Before we dive in, of course, as always, turn off any distractions that you may have. Keep yourself muted unless you're called on. We're going to take questions at the end. So I want to make sure that we save all the questions for the end, and I can dive in deep with you guys on what your questions are. Um, let's see. Grab something to take notes with. There is going to be a replay that I'm going to send out after the class. It's only going to be available until Sunday night. So you're going to want to take notes. You will get that replay, but I suggest taking notes because it helps you remember things. Okay. So what we're talking about today and what you're going to walk away with after this call is the three-tier model that creates a warm pipeline of buyers who ascend naturally to high ticket. And we're going to talk about the detailed specifics case study of when I opened my first Skool group. And I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that I took, show you the numbers, because this is a really great way right now for where we are right now in the market, where there's a lack of trust and we want to ascend people into our higher ticket offers. And this is an amazing way to do that quickly, easily, and it makes selling easy. You don't have to do cold pitching, which is so icky. There are no complicated funnels with this, and that's what I absolutely love. Even though I am a funnel girl, you don't have to start with a complicated funnel, and you're not starting over every month, which is so nice. Okay, so something you should know about me. I have been in the online space for quite a long time. I started growing communities online with Facebook, as a lot of people have. Facebook groups were one of the best ways to create community, nurture your customers, nurture your audience, and ascend people into additional offers. Uh, Slowly over the last few years, I watched that model stop working and I rebuilt it on Skool from scratch, but better, right? So this is like the Facebook group model, but better. And that's what I love about this is that it works the way Facebook groups you wish that they worked, right? It works like Facebook groups worked many years ago when they first started. I went from 0 members in my Skool group to over 729 members now. $678 in monthly recurring revenue in just 6 months. And that's with me starting and figuring it out on my own along the way, right? So here's the proof. Here are the actual stats that you can see. I started the group in November, started taking action in December, January increase, February increase, March increase, and then we're just going on from there. So you can see that I started the group in December, and in January is when I created the first, was it January or December? My first low ticket membership in the group. And then I had the VIP offer in February. So the problem that a lot of coaches are experiencing right now is that you're feeling stuck. You're feeling like everything has slowed down, and it's due to this trust problem, right? Where our buyers are more experienced. A lot of times, the people that you work with have worked with other people who have disappointed them in the past, and right, and that's something that we have to deal with. Um, and there's so many scammers, AI, like there's so many different things online that makes it harder for people to trust. So it's not your fault, right? It's the market that we're in right now, but it feels like we're stuck. It feels like things are moving really, really slow. Also, you don't have consistent recurring revenue. So this doesn't just mean consistent clients every month. But this means that you're not starting from zero, that you're starting with money already planned to come in each month, right? Because launching is hard when it's unpredictable. It's fun when you know what you can expect. And high ticket selling feels hard because your audience is cold, right? You feel like you have to convince people, you feel like you have to explain everything instead of working with people, talking to people who already know what you do, already know like how you work, how you talk, how coaching with you is like. And it's so much easier when it's actually pre-sold that way. Okay. So this is what you may be struggling with right now. Your audience is too small or too cold to convert to high ticket, right? You can still sell high ticket to a small audience, but it is harder, right? Because it's just percentages and math. But when your audience is cold, it is so much harder. So cold means that they don't know you, they haven't experienced your work before. And you're trying to go from free content directly to a high ticket offer. That's a big ask these days, right? That's a very big ask. So back in like 2019 and 2020, the height of COVID, right? It was a lot easier to sell a high ticket to someone that you just met, right? You could run a 5-day challenge and they'd get to know you in 5 days and boom, you'd have a sale. Now it's a lot harder. Like I said, most people have had disappointing experiences, so they're more guarded. And now they want to make better choices, right? They want to know that you can actually help them, and they want more proof that you can actually help them. The trust gap is very wide right now, and you're trying to bridge that gap from someone who doesn't know you to 3K plus in not a long time, and it's much harder than it used to be. And you're also selling to a crowd, not a community. Now, for the past week, I've been talking about, like week and a half, I've been talking about the difference of community versus just gathering a group of people, right? Because there is a big difference. A lot of people have a big group of people on Facebook, right? That's what those Facebook groups are. But it's not actually a community because they don't know who you are. They don't know what you do or how you work because the posts that you're creating in your Facebook group aren't showing up in the news feed. They're not going over to the group. They're not being reminded to go to the group, right? So it's a crowd of people. It's not actually a community. So that's one thing that I want to show you the difference of. Besides just building a group of people, we're actually building a community. So things that you've probably tried, right? When things slow down, what do? We do more of what we're used to. Posting on social media and hoping someone DMs you. Cold DMs, right? Running occasional launches with inconsistent results. Relying on referrals to fill your roster. This is a big one. Building a Facebook group that nobody engages in because people still talk about the good old days of Facebook groups. And none of this has worked consistently. Posting into the void is not a marketing strategy, right? And it actually makes things worse because it brings down your confidence. We are in a trust recession. Kelly Roach coined that term, and we have been in the trust recession for quite a while. One of the big things that I teach is low ticket to high ticket, and this has been the process that I've used for many years. The trust recession has made it even worse, right? People are more skeptical. They've been burned. They're not going to hand over thousands of dollars to someone that they barely know, no matter how good the content is. So how do we fix that, right? You need a bigger, warmer audience and a structured path that builds trust before you make that big ask, okay? So there are a few more steps we have to put in front of making that offer. So the solution that I've come up with, that I used to create my Skool group, is the 3-tier plus model, okay? 3 tiers plus, and I'm going to show you what that is on the next slide. This is it, guys. If you want to take a screenshot, this is like everything in one slide. The 3-tier plus model is where you create community. a free community of people, your always warm front door, right? This is where people can come in after maybe they've signed up for a lead magnet. You bring them in, and this is where you can nurture them, right? This is where you can communicate with them. It's a two-way conversation, and you can really build community. You add on top of that your low ticket layer. So this includes memberships, products, and mini courses. So this is where the plus comes in, right? Because you can have your low ticket membership so that you have recurring revenue every single month. And then add on top of that one-time low ticket digital products, okay? So it's like it's a low ticket two-parter here. And this works extremely well because the one-off products build a little bit of trust, and the low ticket memberships builds even more trust, right? So it's like a stairway, right, that we're creating, but it's moving so fast, it's an escalator. That's the way I like to think of it. And then we have the next level, your high ticket door, your VIP, that offers, they close naturally because they already know you, right? So there's no cold selling necessary when you have this process set up. Okay, so step one, we're going to go through each step. Build the always warm front door, your free community. This is the answer to a Facebook group. Now, I do want to make really clear, I love Skool because Skool is built with this 3-tier plus model in mind. So you can create it all in one place. Everyone's in the same place. You don't have to use Skool. Okay, so this upgrade pathway works for anyone, and you can interchange platforms if you so desire. So if you have a Facebook group that maybe you've built for a really long time and people are warm, feel free to use that, right? Like I said, I love Skool because it's all in one and it's a natural ascension pathway, but you don't have to use Skool for this model. So your audience is not your community. An audience of people who follow you from a distance, that's like your social media, right? A community is people who show up on purpose for a reason. They feel connected, they know who you are, and they know who everyone else is, right? It's everyone's there for a reason. Community is the bridge between social media follower and high ticket client, right? So your goal is to get people from social media into your community. It's the very first step. It's the front door. And this is where trust gets built on scale, passively every day without a pitch, because it's a free offer. So more people will join your free offer, especially if you give them a good reason to join, such as your lead magnet. So 3 keys here for a free community that actually works. Specificity. Like I said, everyone has to be there for a specific reason. Everyone needs to know why they're there. This is one of the reasons why Facebook groups don't work anymore, is because they were built on vague, this person. They weren't built with specificity in mind. They were built with vague, large concepts like women entrepreneurs, right? Ambitious entrepreneurs, health coaches, right? It's more about the type of person that you're trying to get into the Facebook group rather than the purpose of it. So that means that when someone joins that type of group, they don't really know why they're there. No one really knows why they're there. And that's why people stay quiet, because they don't know what they're supposed to do. Right? So that was one of the key mindset shifts that I made when I started my group on Skool, was knowing that it needed to be specific and it needed to have a purpose that everyone was there for, right? And one purpose, not 2 or 3, so that people knew that when they came in, they were doing this one thing. That is really key. Now, like I said, if you're going to use this on another platform, that's totally fine. The same thing applies, right? This is why some groups are engaged and why some groups are not. Because once someone joins, if they don't know what to do, then they're not going to do anything at all. And the next key here, showing up first, is part of this, right? Because you as the leader need to show up first. You need to be posting and showing people what to do, right? It's like having a dinner party and people walk in the door and they don't know what's going on. They don't know, do I go in the kitchen? Is it a buffet? Who are all these people, right? You need to be the host. You need to introduce people, remind them why they're there, give them the thing that you promised if you led with something like that. You need to show up first. And sometimes that feels really awkward, especially when you're posting in a group and no one else is posting. You feel like, oh, I'm the only one talking. But lurkers are natural, right? It's a natural thing. If you start conversations, people will join. And then making people feel seen. Like I said, it's like inviting people over to a dinner party and they knock on the door and you open it and walk away and don't even say hi, right? Or maybe you say hi, but you don't introduce them to anyone else. So they're like, what are we doing? Who are all these people, right? You're not making us feel welcome. So you can do that by using their name, sending DMs. Another reason why I love Skool is that there are DMs built into the platform, right? So that on Facebook, yes, there are DMs, but because of all the spam, we are constantly being blocked. You can't message people who aren't your friends anymore. People don't even see their notifications till days later. I could go on and on. On Skool, the DMs are automatic, notifications go out immediately. And so you can create real connection there on the platform, right? So that's how you make a free community actually work. So without a free community, social media reaches 3 to 5% of your audience. Okay. This is a hard pill for people to swallow because you spend the time creating content, like so much time creating content, multiple times a day. And so few people actually see it. And it's not because your content isn't good. And it's not because you're doing something wrong or you're not posting enough. That's the way it works. The algorithms only send out your content to a tiny percentage of your audience. And then if they like it and they engage, it'll reach a little bit more. But there is not a single post that everyone in your audience is actually going to see, right? So no one is going to see 100% of your social media posts, which is so annoying because we create such good content and no one sees it. Also, your email list open rates are stuck around 20 to 30%, which is average. It's good, right? You're not going to get better than that. You may get higher, but it's never going to be 100%. Even though people want to be on your list, not everyone is going to open your emails. Not everyone is even going to get all of your emails, right? Even though we own the audience in our email list, we still rely on the email providers to send those emails out to the people, right? And sometimes now we have spam folders, promotion folders. People don't even know how to check their promotion folders. And that's where a lot of our promotion emails end up. So they're not even getting your emails, right? Even if they wanted to open and read them, they're not even getting them. So even though we own that audience, we still can't reach them. Facebook group, again, reaches 1 to 2% of members. Facebook just does not prioritize group content in the newsfeed. And that was one of the biggest reasons why Facebook groups were working, was because people would sign up for a group and then they would see it in their newsfeed. That doesn't happen anymore. They have to be reminded to go back to the group, and that it doesn't happen again. So nobody sees your content. Also, nobody sees your content in order, especially on social media, because even though you're posting like today, tomorrow, the next day, you may see someone's post from 2 weeks ago and then yesterday within 5 minutes. Let me know if that's happened to you, right? No one sees your posts in order, right? Which is kind of crazy. And it's hard to build a relationship with someone online through just social media, right? That's not a real relationship. They can see some posts, but you don't know who they are. Oops. With a community, members get notified in real time, right? So I'm talking about something like Skool or maybe even something like Circle. They feel genuinely connected to you because they know you're a real person, right? Especially with the advance of AI and bots. Sometimes you see someone's social media and you're like, oh, that's not even real, or is that person even real? Inside a community, it gets a little closer to being real, right? People can go live, they can have master classes like this, and you can see, okay, there's actually a human there. So they feel genuinely connected to you. And it takes so many, they call it, touches. I think it's like 14 to 40 now. It's super high for someone to actually build trust with you. Inside a community, those touches can happen really quickly. Um, you don't have to actively sell because it's all happening inside the group. And your community builds trust at scale because it's not one-to-one, it's one-to-many. So my story again is that in November, I opened a brand new Skool group. I invited my email list. I ran a few small low ticket ads. I just built it with free people to begin with. It was a free community, right? Within 6 months, I had over 729 members. So this always warm front door feeds everything in that ecosystem, right? There's a bird outside my window. So why Skool changes the game and what I learned to absolutely love about it. Like I said, you get real-time notifications. Your DMs are open, so there's no Facebook overlord deciding who you can DM or not DM. You can build connections at scale through your DMs. Your offers are visible upon arrival, right? They're not hidden. And this is a big thing because we're not hiding our offers behind like a smoke screen. It's right there to see. And you've got built-in gamification through leaderboards, polls, all kinds of stuff that's already built into Skool. Members stay engaged without a lot of extra work from you because that platform is built to sell. Unlike Facebook and some other platforms, it's built with sales in mind so that you don't have to try to work around the system like with Facebook, right? Um, all right, let's get into step number 2, the low ticket layer. And this is where a lot of people get excited because this is where the magic really happens, okay? Not only are we adding low ticket products, but we're adding a low ticket membership, which creates recurring revenue. So people ask me at this point, well, why is it both? Why is there plus, right? Do I need plus? A lot of people growing Skool groups may be using the 3-tier system, but they're not using the plus, and that is actually really key here, is that we don't just have to stick with memberships with Skool. You can sell individual products, courses, mini courses, digital products. You can sell one-to-one calls. You can sell audits, right? You can sell your coaching inside Skool. So again, less friction for people ascending to your higher ticket offers. Now, when people pay, they pay attention. And so this is an amazing filter that we have inside Skool, where even a $5 membership completely rewires your relationship with someone, okay? So they're not just a passive follower, they're a buyer now, and buyers buy again. So I have always loved the low ticket to high ticket model because of the fact that low ticket it's an easier thing to sell and it creates trust fast and allows you to upsell someone right into higher ticket offers. Adding in recurring revenue is amazing. This was when my mind like completely blew when I was like, wait a second, I can sell my low ticket offers and it's recurring. It's not just one time. It's not having to sell a bunch of low ticket offers every single month. You can create a low ticket membership and you can use these two things hand in hand. Low ticket products, low ticket memberships, hand in hand to ascend people up to your high ticket offers. So we are in the implementation age. We are no longer in the information age. And so when we're creating digital products and courses, you have to keep that in mind, and memberships as well. When you're creating all your low ticket offers, you have to understand that people will not pay for information anymore, where they would have in the past because information was not readily available. Now it's not going to sell. And you could see this transition for the past few years. because it took hold when, Google and YouTube started coming up, and you might see questions, why should I pay for this? I can just YouTube it, right? We're even further along that path when we add in AI, because why should you pay for something that you can just ask ChatGPT or Claude, right? So that's what you have to keep in mind when you're creating your low ticket offers and your low ticket memberships, is that information doesn't sell. Implementation sells, right? The actions, the step-by-step process. So it's not more content, it's clarity, direction, step-by-step action, packaged in a way that people can actually use. Okay, so when people get results is when they will ascend, and this is key. So the plus in the three-tier model, the three-tier plus model, are individual low ticket products and mini courses. And when I say low ticket, this could be up to a couple $100s, right? These is just more like a one-time offer, right? So one-time purchases that create buyer momentum, and it deepens trust before the recurring commitment or after. It could come before the low ticket membership or after. In my Skool group, I don't even think I mentioned the name. So it's the AI Stock Photo Studio. It's where I teach people how to create AI images and how to use them in their coaching business, right? And so I created the free group, and then I created the low ticket membership. It was $5 at the very, very beginning. But I also sold one-offs, right? So I sold done for you prompts. And I sold that at many different price points. Right now it's $18 for 10 done for you prompts. So these could be done for you products as well, right? So these could be standalone products, one-offs, PDF guides, ebooks, right? Anything, your low ticket products. You could also do, like I said, audits or like one-on-one calls, or even coaching programs, right? Even smaller coaching programs like one-offs. And then you add on top of that the recurring membership. So income that comes in every month, whether you're launching or not. And it builds such an amazing feeling and a foundation for your business. So the low ticket difference here is when you don't have the low ticket options, you're waiting for people to book a consult, right? You're just waiting for them to book a consult. Here's my calendar link, instead of here's something that can solve a small problem for you right now, and you know that working with me can help. Right? They know they're there to decide about spending thousands without low ticket, right? And that is an awkward feeling to put people in. Most people aren't ready to make that leap. With low ticket, that barrier goes away, right? People get a low stakes way to experience working with you. They get a way to have a result with you really quickly, which builds trust immensely. Like, how often do you work with someone just because you saw something or they taught you something that you could complete in a weekend, and so you knew that working with them was going to be even more of that? Okay, so how this played out. In December 2025, 1 month after opening my free group, I launched my paid membership at $5 a month, and then I raised it to $10 a month later on, so not in December. So I did my first launch to the free people in the group, and I opened the paid membership at $5. That was the moment that the recurring revenue started, the moment I felt even deeper in love with Skool. And I also sold low ticket digital products and mini courses, $7 to $197, right? Like I said, I sold done for you prompts. I sold done for you AI twin. I sold additional products one off, because like I said, that it's really easy to set up courses in Skool as part of the membership. But if someone's not in the membership, you can sell them individually as well. So every purchase brought people closer to the next tier. And by the time I launched my VIP tier, I wasn't pitching to strangers. I was inviting people who had already been in the free community, already paid for a membership, and already gotten results, right? So it felt natural. It didn't feel salesy. So let's talk about that next level, the VIP. Okay. And this is where the magic happens for coaches. This is where things get even better, take a turn. This is where coaches really are going to love this three-tier model because a lot of people get stuck in low ticket, right? They think that it'll be easier to sell low ticket, it'll be easier to sell low ticket membership and stop there. You don't need to stop there. There's always a next level, okay? If you take away something from this masterclass, anything, one thing, there's always a next level. There's always an upgrade available, whether you've created it yet or not. So high ticket becomes easy inside this three-tier plus model because you're not selling to a cold audience anymore. You're selling to someone who already knows you. So it's not a cold audience. You don't have to bridge that trust gap, right? The trust gap that was like this before is now like this, and now it's just a little hop. So when your first two tiers are working, high ticket changes completely because you're not convincing anyone, right? You've worked with them. They're warm people in your community. You probably know who they are. And they're looking for the solution that you offer in the next level, right? So you've also built things out so that the free community goes naturally into the low ticket community. The low ticket community goes naturally into the high ticket community, right? It's like the natural next step when you build it correctly. So without this pathway, you may be going through a feast or famine cycle, right? Where you are launching every now and then, but between launches, things go really quiet and you're maybe delivering on what you launched, or you're waiting for the next thing and you're not talking about your offers and it gets really quiet, right? That's that feast or famine. You're not making sales in between launches. A good launch month might be followed by a dead month. And this is what I see all the time working with coaches and myself before this model, is that you'd have a really great month and then the next month you'd be delivering and you'd be forgetting to do all those things that led to your initial success, right? And revenue disappears the moment that you stop selling. Every high ticket sale starts from scratch. But with the upgrade pathway, you have a pipeline that compounds. New people are entering every day into your free community. They're warming up without you having to do anything. They're buying your low ticket offers, so you're making money in between your high ticket launches. And they're sending naturally to the high ticket inside and outside of launch, right? So you have revenue that builds instead of resets every month. So how this played out for me was in February, 3 months after opening the free group, I launched my VIP tier offer for $100 a year. Yes, it was still low ticket, but it was much higher than the $5 a month that I started with, right? Members already knew, liked, and trusted me. I did a launch so that I explained what was going to be in the VIP tier. The ascension felt natural, and it was also the next step because in my AI stock photo studio, the premium tier is where I teach people how to create AI stock photos and how to use them. There's no AI twin stuff. That's a natural next step in the AI image world, right? And that was something that definitely the coaches I worked with wanted to know how to do. So that was in the VIP tier. So today I have 729 members, 678 MRR, and that was just in 6 months. And I did start from zero there. You can see the whole map here, the whole timeline, November to December, December to January, right? These are not long timelines. This is 6 months total. 3 months to build that full ecosystem, 6 months to the numbers. It's not a 5-year strategy, right? 6 months is not a long time in the online world, in online sales. 6 months is actually pretty small, especially when you look at the time in between each tier that I launched. December to February, that's 2 months, right? That's not a lot of time at all. And the good thing is that now these tiers are already in. I can increase the price, which I have. I mentioned that the premium tier started out at $5 a month. Now it is $10 a month. So in between that time, I honestly don't remember when it was. It might have been in January. I increased the premium tier from $5 to $10. So that's another launch period, right? Where I created excitement about the group. I created excitement about the premium offer. and I upsell people into that, right? So it's another example of the upgrade pathway in action. It doesn't stop, right? It continues. So this is not a complicated funnel, right? You don't even have to have any funnel pages in this model at all. Now, I do in the way I use it, and I do recommend it, but you don't have to. You can start with just Skool. And that's why I love Skool, is that you can create all of this inside Skool without having any other platform at all. You can have your free community, your low ticket membership, your low ticket products, your low ticket membership here, and your VIP offer. And you can also email people directly from Skool. It's like literally all in one. So how to work with me. I want to help you guys build this, right? I've created this myself. I know this platform inside out, and I know that this 3-tier model works. And I would love for everyone to do it too. And it doesn't have to be on Skool. But I do love Skool for all the reasons I mentioned. So right now, you're probably leaving revenue on the table. Most coaches have a solid foundation. You probably have an audience on social media. You might have an offer, maybe even some sales, but there's a gap between where you are and where your business could actually produce more. And so the gap isn't the problem. It's an upgrade problem, right? I've mentioned upgrading a lot because the Upgrade Academy is where we close this gap. So the Upgrade Academy is opening for the very first time. Starting today, it's $797 a year. And this is a high-touch coaching container where we systematically upgrade every part of your coaching business, your offers, your funnels, your conversions, and your recurring revenue, right? So together we start with a 90-day accelerator to make sure all the foundation parts are in place. And then we start installing the upgrade levers. So that includes adding order bumps, upsells, ascending people from low ticket to high ticket, right? So inside the Upgrade Academy, like I said, we have the 90-day accelerator. And this is a structured experience to make sure that you have the foundation in place before we start adding more upgrades in, right? So this is cohort-based. Everyone who joins is going to be moving along, at the same time. You're not alone. We're going to go through the step-by-step upgrade framework, covering every revenue upgrade a coaching business needs, such as funnels, OTOs, order bumps, free to paid funnels, webinars, community monetization, and ascension. Upgrades happen at every part of your business. And the more that you can upgrade people from within, the more the more money you're going to make from your existing audience to make selling easier. So this curriculum is going to be built out inside the group. You also get a monthly one-to-one call with me. So this is a one-to-one container where I am going to be looking at your business, your numbers, your next move. I'm going to give you personalized coaching every single month to show you what upgrade you need next and how to actually install that for your specific business. Okay. I want to work closely with you guys to make this happen. This isn't the type of course, it's not a course where you watch a couple videos and try to do it on your own. This is a coaching container. You also get live hot seat calls. So in between the monthly one-to-one calls, we'll have hot seat calls where you can bring your questions and get real answers. And there's also going to be milestone tracking because I believe in accountability. And as your coach, I want to make sure that we are moving things along. So it's kind of like a scorecard, kind of like a milestone tracker to make sure that everyone's on the same page of what you're creating and why, and that we keep moving forward. You also get the Sell on Skool 5-day challenge. So the 5-day challenge is happening next week, starts on Monday. And that's where we create your Skool group built to sell, right? So you create that monetization blueprint where we're going to build your Skool group. If you already have a Skool group, we will make sure that everything is set up to sell. If you don't have a Skool group, I'll show you how to start one from scratch, right? So this is where you can create your upgrade pathway if you don't have one yet. So this starts on Monday, and it is a live challenge, 5 days of live workshops with me. So if you already have an audience or a community, but you aren't monetizing it well, then this is the program for you. If you're tired of launching and praying in between launches, if you want recurring income, not just one-off sales, if you know you need better funnels and upsells and ascension paths, but you don't really know how to put those together, I'm your girl. So if you're ready to stop guessing and follow this proven framework, this is the program for you. And if you want a coach who actually watches your progress, not just a course that you're not going to finish or like a large group program where you get lost in the middle, that's not this. This is where we work together closely because I want to see you guys succeed. So the 2 ways to start it are to join the Upgrade Academy. Let me pull up the link for that. And I will pop it in the chat so you guys can take a look. Now, where'd my video go? Okay. It includes the Sell on Skool challenge. If you're not ready for the Upgrade Academy yet, but you just want to get your Skool group started, you can jump in just for the Sell on Skool challenge that starts on Monday. So let's see. If you sign up today, you could have your whole Skool ecosystem mapped out by next Friday, not tomorrow. Like I said, it took me only 6 months to get to where I am on Skool, and that was with me figuring it out on my own. That's not with I didn't have it built to sell at the very beginning, right? I built as I went and learned it all as I went. So a quick recap. Today we talked about building your free community as your always warm front door, adding low ticket offers to create buyers and recurring revenue, and opening that high ticket door to warm paying members so that you do not have to make selling high ticket difficult. Your next step is the Upgrade Academy, which I just dropped the link in the chat. But right now, I want to ask you guys, do you have any questions about the 3-tier plus model? I want to hear from you. Where are you at with your groups? Is there anything that you want to ask that I could help you with right now? So go ahead and pop your questions in the chat. And we have about 15 minutes that I can answer those questions. And I'd love to know what you're most excited for. Are you most excited for building a free community, a low ticket layer, or a high ticket ascension? I've heard answers all across the board. How many people max will be in the cohort? I'm expecting between 5 and 10, so it's not going to be a lot. This is the founding group, and I'm expecting 5 to 10. So you're definitely going to get lots of personal attention. Yeah. Personally, I like smaller groups because I like to get to know everyone. And also I've been in large coaching containers where I felt forgotten, and I do not like that feeling. So I want to make sure everyone gets all of their questions answered and I can help them. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, or also what you're most excited to build first. Oh, and if you are watching the replay, feel free to message me on Skool or send me an email and I can answer any of your questions as well. What if I already have my ascension mapped out? Then we'll take a look at that and make sure it hits all the marks, and I will help you launch it. Okay, Kristen says, so just so I understand, you have 3 tiers: free, $10 a month, $100 a year, and this high ticket program. So with my AI stock photo studio, that's the group that I was talking about during this as the case study, right? So that has a free plan of $5, it's $10 a month now, and the $100 a year. Right now, the VIP is closed in the AI stock photo group. In the buyer journey groups, I have 2 groups, right? So I have one for AI stock photos, and then I have one for like the funnels and digital products. Because like I said, it's really important to be specific in your groups. So I didn't want to confuse the matter of the AI stock photo group by having it be about funnels and digital products, right? So I have two specific groups, one for AI stock photos and one for funnels and digital products. And that's how I keep them really tight and specific. Um, yeah, Kristen, you had two groups, right? Why did you choose to make the third layer a price per year instead of per month? That's a great question. Because I want people to stick around. And I think that you get the best results when you do stick around. So I want to have this be a yearly program. Awesome questions. Okay, let me know if anyone else has any questions, or Kristen, if there's anything else. Okay, so the replay is going to go out after this call. The replay is going to be available until Sunday night. And then on Monday, we start Sell on Skool. You're welcome, Tara. Hope you join. And we start Sell on Skool on the 1st. So even if you already have a Skool group, you're going to learn a lot on how to make sure that it's built to sell. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of planning out your membership levels and thinking ahead of how it's going to work, which is really important. That's definitely one thing that I learned when growing my Skool group is that you need to plan it out in advance, or else you're left scrambling to answer like, oh, how do I do this? Or what about this after the fact? So planning it out and having it built to sell as early as possible in the game is really, really helpful. So I'm super excited to help people join their Skool group um, and their upgrade ascension process in the academy. Okay, guys, I will send out the recording. Again, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I will see you in the group, in the Skool group. All right, bye-bye.